Hello, hello, this is Cara. We are on day 47 of the 100-day project and letter I. And I am going to do identification cards. Can you believe I haven't done this yet? It's been a whole thing going around everywhere, and I've never made one until today. I was playing around and I thought, okay, I'm going to go with an easier style. But oh man, I can see why they're so popular. They're really fun and kind of addictive. This one is a non-dye kneading one, but I think it would be really fun to get out some dyes that I have. Like I have this Elizabeth Craft Design die, and I think this would be really a cute one for a little identification card. And I also think using the file folder die and this one would be a great ID card. If you're interested in seeing those, let me know. Oh, for today, we're going to make an ID card that is 5 inches by 3.5. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut different, whatever kind of paper. This is a Tim Holtz paper. This is a piece of cardstock from Michael's. This is a file folder. So whatever you want. It could be, I also have some other papers over here. Here's a manila folder. You'll actually need this for the background of the photo. Here's some other cardstocks. This is from a 12 by 12 paper pad. And then the same with that one. So really, wherever you find something that could look grungy or turn grungy would be a great idea. And I thought these colors were really fun. Okay, so I have some cut. Not sure if this is, I started with 3 by 5, and then I think I realized, is that what I just said these were? No, these are a little smaller. And then I thought, okay, wait, that's a little too much room. So let me measure again. What did I say? 5? Oh, 3.25. Okay, so this one is a little less than 5. This is probably a remnant piece. And my nails aren't letting me grab it. This one, yeah, we're going to cut this down to 3.25. So it'll be this size. I'll do the same here. I think this is right, yeah. 3.25. Alright, so we have a couple to make. So we'll need cardstock for our cards, for our main cards, and some form of image from either a digital that you have, or I have the Photomatic. There's another version of these that are smaller that would work, or if you have the collage strips from Tim Holtz, there's quite a few that have images here that you could use also. The larger version, or if you wanted to make a smaller version of an ID card, the smaller collage strips have it too. Alright, so we're going to use, since I have it, the Photomatic. And we're going to grab a couple. And I'm going to only make 3 cards. I keep losing my scissors. So I'm going to cut these apart. So I have one that I trimmed earlier. And this, I mean, you can trim it to whatever size you want. But mine is 1.25 by 1 and 5/8. Okay. And I'm just going to use, it looks funny, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to take a pencil, and I'm going to trace around where I want this one to go, to, you know, the size. And I'm just going to trace. If you want to just measure and cut, that works too. Okay, so then I have a faint line. I'll take this to my cutter. I see it. Line it up. Okay, so there's one. It didn't line up very straight on that side. And then we can use this to also do our next ones. Okay, if you still have a pencil mark, you can erase your pencil mark. I don't have an eraser really on pencil. Erase. Okay, and then the next thing we need is a piece of something to back it. I just think it kind of looks nice. So, oh man, it's still like this. All right, so I'm gonna go a bit bigger. So let's see. This is, if we do, I think 1 3/4 will be good. Trim this off. No, the next one. 1 3/4. And that is basically 2. So why don't we just cut it to 2? Make it easy. So 1 3/4 by 2. Yeah, perfect. Our photos, and we have our mats. And then we round the corners. And I'm going to round the corners on all of my cards, these, and my photos. I'm going to use the smallest one. Is this the smallest one? Which one do we like? I think I like this one. Yeah, I like that one. So let's do this middle one if you have this corner rounder. Well, it looks a little big, but I think it'll be okay. I'm going to continue rounding this one with the same. Ah. Oh my gosh. Sometimes this corner rounder and we don't get along. And I'll do the same. So the picture and the mat are the same. Okay, she goes with that. She'll go without. Alright, and then this one, I'm going to go ahead and round. I think it was this one. Nope. Okay. Just so all the corners are the same. Let's do this one, just for something a little different. Now, we have these ready, we have these ready. Next up, we're going to ink. I'm going to ink around my frame to get rid of the white. Or not my frame, sorry, my picture. Get rid of the white parts. And then our mat. We'll do that for all of them. Cards. If we bend our card, then go ahead and crease it. I think it just adds to the cool look. if you have a stencil that has lines or coffee staining, it would be a really cool thing to use this as well. I think this is a Stamperia one. I don't remember the name. But I'm going to go like that. It just gives it a little something in the background. Let's do... And I didn't do that with those, but I think it would be fine. Yeah. Just a little something in the background. Okay. And now, let's put our pictures together. This is a great mass make. You can just kind of get your assembly line and boom, boom, boom. I think there would be a way to make this a hidden journaling card too. Similar to our postcards that we did yesterday. If you missed that one, that was a really fun upgrade to the hidden journaling. Sometimes it just takes me a minute. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. And then we're going to glue our photos onto our cards. Yeah, I can't believe I haven't made these before. I think I've been under a rock. What the heck? They're everywhere. I don't know why. I really don't. I don't know if it was a little intimidation, but then once I started making them, it's just a bunch of stamping. I can do that. I wonder what that guy's looking at. Okay, there we go. Now, it's just a matter of going through your stamps, and you should see all of the stamp sets I have to the side, going through and seeing if there's anything that you think would work. Oh, my glue's exploding. Let me put that on. So, I have an Elizabeth Craft Design stamp here, and it has guest receipt, but by the time you're done stamping, you can't even see that. A few of mine, I did cover this up. I have a field note stamp you can cover part of. I have dates, identification. I feel like that's kind of a necessary one for the type of card. Signatures, filed, just different stamps. I'm using a couple from the Eccentric from Tim Holtz, several of the Sam Pool stamps, and field notes from Tim Holtz. So if you have any of the Sam Pool or any of the field notes or this one from Tim Holtz, you'll be golden. Alright, and then I need my stamp block, and I need my ink. And let's start with this right here. I figured you needed, somewhere where they would sign or write their name. They're filling out an identification card. This is by no means inauthentic. This is just play with the stamps you have and make it look legit. Alright. And fun and vintagey. Alright, so there we go. And then just to fill this spot, I'm going to use this one that has dates. If you have a different text stamp you could put there. This one is from the eccentric stamp set. There we go. I'm going to put identification at the top. If I had the word card, I did cut off the word, whatever it was. There's another word attached to this, and I cut it off. Just so I would have identification. I probably should have done this lower, so that would have been higher, but I think it's okay. And then this one, office number, office stamp, I don't know. This is also from eccentric. I'm just going to put that there, just because. Then I feel like we need a number. So how about this guy? We'll put that there. And you're just kind of feeling space. And then this is a signature. So maybe he signed his identification. We'll put that there. And what else do I have here? I think this little symbol, maybe that's the company who made the identification. Could go there. I think I did it upside down. Whoopsie daisy. And then let's put, what should we put? Oh, this is where I had the field note. That's right. Okay, because this one has text and I want some text right here. I'm going to ink up the top part of the stamp. And then you can mask this if you want. And then push. And there we go. That fills up that part. And then I have a red ink, a Catherine Pooler ink. And I'm going to use that for my little circle stamps. Maybe one there. And I need something to stamp on. Maybe one going off the edge. Okay, so that is pretty much the idea. So you just kind of get in there with your stamps. Pretty cool. And then a lot of the identification cards had some sort of eyelet in them. And I saw one that had this wraparound thing, but I don't have the wraparound. But I thought, oh, well, I have these sticker labels from probably Your Creative Studio that I've had in my stash forever. And I think these look nice. And then I haven't added thread, like red and white thread I think would be cool. You can even dangle something off of it. These are stickers. And then this little blank area, you can put this, fold it over, punch a hole, and an eyelet. I'm going to put this big one for this one just because. And how cool is that? If there's room, you could do this before or after you attach it, but if there's room, maybe go in with foil. And then you add some thread. I don't have any red baker's twine here, but maybe we add this. Make a little loop. There we go. We can trim that. And then it just has a little something hanging off the edge. It's kind of fun. You could attach a label to this, you could do different things, but pretty cool. Okay, so let's do another one. I have this gal. I'm gonna do word identification first. I get all messy when I ink things up. My desk gets a little out of control. There you go. We could even mass make and do them both at the same time. Look at me go. And then I'm going to do the field notes. And have a little mask. Nope, not that, this. And, oh, I didn't do, maybe I won't do it on this one. I didn't do this, but let's do this one over here. And then we can do our fill label on this one. There we go. Maybe on this one I have destination. Let's see, maybe we get a couple different stamps for these. And then we need something here. Putting away all these stamps is going to be fun. Not sure where they all belong. Go. Let's put a printic over here. Like that. And then, oh yeah, we need our red little circly ones. Probably got stuck to the back of something. That. Ink. This one. put it down here. Put it right there. Punch the hole. There we go. That looks cool. A little red and white thread, I think, is what it needs on there. There we go. Okay. Pretty fun. Messy. I think that's just me. I don't think that's the project really. But here we go. In no time. And beforehand, look at all the ones I made. How fun are those? And these are like so cute. Tucked in, and then you still have journaling on the back. So cute. I can see why these are so popular. They're so fun. Alright. What do you think for the identification card for letter I? I think these are awesome. And no die is required for this one. That's also very nice. You need stamps. You definitely need stamps for it to work. But pretty cool. Alright, I will see you tomorrow for J. And number, what is it? 40 something. Hopefully my ink is off my hands by then. And as always, I hope you have a wonderfully crafty day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.